One of the biggest problems we see with former college athletes when they're trying to get back into working out is they think they don't have time to do it. And a lot of that is around perception of what they did in the past. When they were in college, they were taught to get to practice 5 to 10 minutes early because early is on time and that they should be like rolling out, getting mobile, like using a tennis ball or a foam roller, or doing whatever they need to do to be like ready to start at the time. So practice, say the workout was at 3 o'clock, they were really told to be there at 2:50. Now the reality is that like care athletic related activity shouldn't start till 3 o'clock, which means they shouldn't be required to be there until 3 o'clock. But that's a whole nother story in itself. But they do that. They take that time, then they get into warm up. They do a dynamic warm up, then they do some activation stuff, then they do a little bit of extra mobility, and then 10 to 15 minutes later, they start loading up. They start low weight. They slowly progress to their working sets. They're doing activation stuff in between. They're doing mobility in between. They're going through 8 to 10 exercises. Then they're doing some more mobility stuff at the end. They're going to the athletic trainer. They're putting heat on. They're preparing to go do another workout. So that 45-minute session, or whether it's an hour long, is really an hour 15 to an hour 30. And so the perception is we need to set out like an entire afternoon. Like we got to leave work at 2 o'clock. We work till 5 just to get this workout in before we do anything else in the day. And that's great if you have all the time in the world. If you only work 30 hours a week somehow and you don't have any other responsibilities, don't have to like do dishes or laundry or worry about anything else, that's great. But the reality is, if you only have a certain amount of time, which for most people it's 20 to 30 minutes, get in, do a 1 to 2 minute warm up, go into your working sets. You're not going to get hurt if you're doing the right stuff. You're going to actually build muscle. You can do 6 to 8 exercises in 20 to 25 minutes, have your entire workout, do that 2 to 4 times a week and get great results from it. The biggest problem around that is, one, people think like, what's the point if I don't have an hour, I don't have an hour and a half, or two, not knowing what to do, so they get in there and kind of spend 20 minutes just figuring it out versus going with an actual plan of, okay, this is what I'm going to accomplish. You're working at sets that you can handle now versus pushing to like a higher capacity every single time. And I'm sure you hear like progressive overload and you got to train really hard to get results. And that's true for the person that is not a former athlete. But if we train like that as former athletes, like we're not going to be able to do it consistently. So we have to do a volume that we can actually handle. And that's actually going to get better results over time because we will be consistent with it. So if you only have 20 to 30 minutes to work out, do 20 to 30 minutes. If you only have 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. But 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes is always going to be better than nothing.